tithe. It should, however, be seen within the general perspective of the plan of God for everyone in the world, for each of us. May I quickly say that I personally do not tithe, as I consider my entire life as a tithe to God. Most people are not comfortable with success. They are more comfortable with failure. Some other people are scared of wealth, of money, and they store and romanticize poverty as the righteous way, the way the Lord wants his followers to follow. In this position, there is simply no virtuous way to acquiring wealth. These two positions are extremes and fail to comprehend the intersection between God, faith, and money. The intersection between these are more complex than what we often hear. Health and wealth are not proof of obedience to God or of sufficient faith in him. Neither are sickness and poverty proof of disobedience or lack of faith. Both extreme viewpoints miss the mark. Then one might ask, what and who is God in answering this question about faith, God, and money? We should be aware that God could never be captured in human concepts. All definitions that we have of God fall short of who God is, since God is beyond human language and human understanding. Nonetheless, as a working view, we may say that God is the origin and sustainer of all that is. God is simply existence. Nothing would exist without God. Within the Christian religion, in contrast to Judaism, we are required to have faith in God and do his will. This will is expressed in the 10 Commandments. The first 5 commandments address our relationship with God, while the second 5 commandments deal with our relationship with our fellow humans. Apostle Paul tries to clarify the meaning of faith in the book of Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. And he says, only faith can guarantee the blessings that we hope for, or prove the existence of realities that are unseen. It was believed in the Old Testament that prosperity was as a result of faithful and righteous life. This is what I refer to as the God, your faith, and money triangle. God, your faith, and money triangle. This is my own invention. If we have this is how most people look at this particular topic of today. When there is God and you exercise faith in God, the product is money and wealth. When you have God and faith in him, exercising faith in him, it will translate into wealth, money, abundant riches will follow you. all the days of your life. This, of course, is a very simplistic understanding of God, of Christianity, or religion in any form. Old Testament versus New Testament tithing practices. We shall discuss this a little more that we have mentioned earlier on. Whether the tithe is only for Old Testament or it is also included in the New Testament is probably the most debated issue today. The scripture most frequently referenced, as we have seen, is Malachi 3:10, 10 to 12. But tithe is also referenced in the New Testament in Matthew chapter 23, verse 23. Jesus talks to the Pharisees, condemning them for tithing to the penny, but neglecting the more important issues of justice, mercy, and faith. He then goes on to tell them that they should in fact tithe, but that they shouldn't neglect the more important things. Jesus recognized the importance of keeping the tithe, and we should too. Money and finance therefore play an essential role in the well-being of persons and nations, and they are not of themselves immoral. Relating money, moral principles and financial markets is the subject of a recent book titled For God and Profit, How Banking and Finance Can Serve God, published by Crossroad Books. How then, friend, did money come about? What is the origin of money? Is there anyone who can tell us the origin of money? Just bring back that money, please. Bring back, okay. The origin of money, yeah. What is the origin of money? Is there anyone who can tell us where money comes from? The origin of money.
It's a legal tender.
Goldsmith.
It's
Goldsmith.
Goldsmith. I mean, yeah, Goldsmith. Money, where does it really come from?
Money come for as an exchange. Because back in those days, it's traded by barter. People cannot be able to carry their goods from one point to another, so they have to create a legal tender where can be a guarantee of exchange of goods. That is where money comes in.
Okay. Origin of money, that money comes from the bank or what, or from the goods and services that we use as an exchange, or from trade by barter or whatever. But we see that if you were to go out on the street and you ask God, you ask people, average people, and even educated people, what is money and where it comes from, most people are confused. Although it is something that we use daily as kids, but yet money seems to be shrouded in mystery. If you go to the bank, there is a certain aura of mystery that we do not understand it. We cannot set our fingers on what money is and the origin of money. However, we might say that money is one of the greatest inventions of all times. Like language, money is not a thing, but rather a social organization. It is not a thing. Designed to promote and facilitate interaction and interchange between human beings over space and time. Money is also a social organization based on generally accepted symbols, set rules, standardized forms, and established conventions. Money, too, depends on acceptance of common standards of form, unit, value, and recording. It is a social organization which includes institutions related to minting, issuing, banking, transmission, accounting, taxation, and etc. Though originally assuming the form of objects of intrinsic value, the time is long past since the institution of money evolved more symbolic forms which were easier to transport, store, and innovatively adapt to represent non-material forms of value. All forms of social power contribute to the collective capacity of our society to accomplish what underlies the value of money. Money is also a means